Yay. Yes, wave and tell us where you're from. I wanted to come on and just thank all you guys for just a phenomenal response this weekend to my archived work. I'm so tempted now, but it was a novel thing. I have every size. I have the 9x12s, I have the 11x14s, and then I have 18x24s, and I have them all in books, and there's some amazing paintings in there. And I don't really worry about making room with them because they're very much contained. So I did get some space for my bigger work, and I'm going to be able to show out of there as well. But I just wasn't, concerned with all the paper pieces that I have. And I have thousands. And I thought, what good is it doing if people aren't seeing it? And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to mat and frame it all for my show. So I just had this thought that maybe you'd like to see it, and you did. And I'm really glad that you participated in the sale this weekend. It was totally impromptu. I just got up in the morning and I was just resuming my organizing, and I started going through my folder and said, you know what, I'm going to pull out 20 paintings. I'm going to show them, and I'm going to say, you know what, love you guys. I got 65,000 followers now. I just want to show you this work, and if you want to get it for a song, Merry Christmas. And you guys responded really, really beautifully. I'm so glad. Skentart, I don't know what your first name is, but hi Moshen, nice to see you. So anyway, the reason I came on is that there's a lot of paintings that sold like five times over. There are certain ones that really spoke to people, and I felt really bad saying that, I'm sorry it's sold. It's interesting, it's a double-edged sword. I'm really glad that they went really quickly, and at the same time, and then people would want their seconds, and those would be sold, and their thirds, and those would be sold, and good problem for me. But I am really invested in you guys and satisfying everyone, and I don't like to disappoint. So I think I'm a little bit of a people pleaser, you think? But anyway, what I thought is there's 4 that are left, and I thought maybe with my thank you, I could use it as a teaching moment, and maybe what they need is a little TLC, and then those of you who missed out might find that there's something here that will suit you, because I still have people asking. And if not, then something will be learned, hopefully, and, we'll have fun. So I'll show you the pieces that I have in front of me, and I'm probably going to take one because I'll only have an hour, and kind of nuance that and see if it comes up to a level. So I like them the way they are, but after seeing what was going, I got a feel for what you like. So let's see what happens, all right? Hello. Thanks for waving. Where are you from? I'm from New Jersey, USA. And, I know it's late in lots of parts of the world, and some of y'all are sleeping, so you might get the playback. And I always put these on YouTube also. I have a little YouTube channel. You can Google Pat Butynski, and I'd like to make more of it, but I make courses, and I'm a painter, so I just put up what I can share organically. So and that's really how I've always approached my Instagram account. It was always organic. I came on because I wanted to hang out with other artists, and I was very isolated thank you. I'm glad you like it. I wasn't sure if I should do the Stir Crazy Cafe anymore. because it seems like everybody is plenty busy. But when we first got locked down, there was this doom and gloom that was over us. And I just felt like, as, somebody who's, kind of, I guess, mature on Instagram, and a couple of other people jumped in too. Janet jumped in, Betty jumped in, and a lot of people to pick up the slack and to share and to kind of be together and try to offer places to go and things to do. And now there's tons. So I wasn't sure that if you guys still needed the Stir Crazy Cafe for Fridays, if you're still stir crazy or not. But anyway, I'm doing the normal rambling. Thank you. See, you're going to talk about my glasses, and then I'm going to get off task. And, really, I am, an artist. I set out to do one thing, and if something cool is in my way, I'll do that. I have to say that I'm really good at going with the flow, though. I am so good in emergency situations where everybody else is going, what the heck is going on? And it's just, I'm used to rolling like that. Whatever's in front of me, okay, I'll do that, and then I'll do that. I kind of, liken it to being a butterfly. Butterflies, jump on this flower, and you go over and you try to hang out with them, and they leave and they go on something else. And do you ever try to follow a butterfly? Well, I kind of feel like that's how I am. And so it's a good thing I have a very orderly husband, I got to tell you. But we balance each other off really well. I love your hearts. I love your emojis. And so anyway, maybe I can share some nuancing. And this is going to be impromptu too, because I didn't make a plan. I have a messy desk here, but I said I have to come on and thank you guys for the response this weekend. It was amazing. And I have 16 pieces that I'm spray varnishing out on my porch, which I hope don't blow away. And I'm going to be shipping. And I'm excited. I'm really excited because I want people to have original art. And I don't do a lot of sales or special, sometimes I might do some small pieces, around Christmas time for that reason. But I don't necessarily paint that way. I just paint what I paint, one painting at a time. Or if I'm, onto a certain color trend, then I'll do a bunch like that. But they're not to sell, even though everything is for sale. Do you know what I mean by that? So, so that's how these pieces all evolved. So anyway, I'm gonna show you the pieces that are still here, and then I'm gonna think about how to maybe nuance them and give them some TLC, because I feel bad that they didn't get adopted. But if I don't sell another one, I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I just figure I could, okay, there you are. So here they are here, all right? So this is one of them that I'll be redoing, but it's really, really pretty. This is another one. I love the air in this one, but it seems as though the ones that got grabbed were very noisy pieces. So maybe I'll add some noise to that. I don't really want to, but I might do it to see. This is one that I also really, really love. This is part of the Red, Whites, Blacks, and Blues series. So I'm just using blue and red, a blue, a couple of reds, a couple of blues, and adding black and white to the mix. And you can get a lot of color with that and a lot of tones with that. So on these particular ones, I'm using watercolor paper, but I will also use mixed media paper. So it's just a good paper that takes a beating. And I would say buy the best paper you can afford, because you'll be able to do a lot on it. And I find that and then this is another one, and I like this one very much also. I love putting colors that are unexpected, that mixing these colors together to make a brown, and that putting a brown next to other colors that seem dark all of a sudden make those colors pop. And so I like to play that game, and I do that deliberately. You like the second one with the air, Wendy? So if you want it, speak for it. I really love this, and I'm going to tell you something about this piece that is really, there's a lot of understory, and I don't know if you can see it, but I deliberately took away a lot of detail because I just, sometimes too much is too much. But right here, you see this here? This is a real teaching moment because this is, you know, you mix these colors, like say a burnt sienna with a blue, and you get these neutrals. But then if you put a pure color right in the middle of a neutral that's close in value, then you'll get a glow. And I call that setting the jewel. And so this one I love because, you know, I know it well, and I know what happened. And sometimes I will do that thing where you're not supposed to put it in the middle, but I'm putting it in the middle because it is the jewel in the crown of this piece. So that's something that you can do on purpose. You know, mix muted colors and put them next to pure colors that are close in value. That's called intensity contrast. You know, there's value contrast, there's intensity contrast with colors. That's neutral next to pure, or what people would call dirty down color next to pure color that might be right out of the tube, pure hue. And then there's pure hue painting, where you actually use colors right out of the tube, but instead of, you know, for your lights, you'll use yellows and reds, and for your darks, you might use blues and purples and things like that, but they're pure right out of the tube. And so you're getting your contrast with pure hue setting. So yeah, Mandy, you know, I mean, you probably are doing that, you know, you just don't give words to it. But, you know, I had to learn how to teach all those different contrast types because, you know, if you're painting realistic stuff, and a lot of times I had realistic painters come into my Path to Abstraction classes, you know, and that's why it was called Path to Abstraction, because they wanted to take a look-see at it. And, you know, say, you know, they were taking several classes and mine was one, but, you know, they painted subjects, and say you're painting, you like to paint people and you're painting a woman or a ballerina or a baby. And, you know, if you do value contrast when you're painting a baby, it's too hard. It's just too hard, you know. So, you know, having value and hitting all the values isn't a hard, fast rule because it's not the only contrast game in town. So the thing that I like about intensity contrast is that you can make colors very soft but neutral next to pure. You can do it with pinks next to like a muddied yellow or something, and it'll glow, but it'll have a soft glow. And that's what you need to do, you know, a romantic piece or a piece that, you know, even if it's an expressive landscape and you want to paint morning, I might choose to do that in an expressive way. So, yeah, that's a little teaching moment here. So anyway, so there's this one, okay, and there's this one, and there's this one, and this one. So I'm really not sure what one's claimed. Wendy, you want that one? You want this one? Because I think this is, it's hard for me to say. People have a lot of artists have an easy time saying that something they did is brilliant. I don't know, I'm really old school. I'm quiet, it's like up to you. But this is a rare and wonderful piece. I could tell you that, Wendy. So, you know what? DM me, all right? I'm going to set this aside. DM me with your email, all right? And this was number This was number 17, I believe. And, no, 18. This was number 18. And say 18 sold. Okay? So that one I won't redo. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Out of these, I'm gonna put the camera down, okay? Which one would you like me to redo or to nuance? I think maybe I'll work on this one. Bye, Mandy. Have a good day. Maybe I'll work on this one. You know what I might do to this one? I might add some pops of warm colors in this one, and let's see what happens, okay? And let's see, maybe we'll do a few, all right? No, you don't want me to work on that one? Okay. If you don't want me to work on it, grab it. All right. Because that's what I'm here to do. So thank you. All right. How about this one? How about this one? How about I do some stuff around the outside, maybe have some drip so it looks like it's more grounded. And see, I want to show you the colors. It's hard sometimes for them to come up, but they'll be a little bit more grounded. And thank you very much. But I wanna teach you something. All right, how about this one? How about I play around with this one? All right, just maybe some little details. Warm colors in which one, Lisa? In this? Put some warm colors in this? I'm not sure which kind of warm colors, but I could take a stab at it. Love to see some warm colors in this. Okay, because I don't have a lot of warm color ones left, so I'm just nuancing the ones that I have. Because, yeah, it seems that people are drawn to warm colors, although we have our blue people. So, okay, I'll do this one. If you guys like, the number of this one, Spice Ninja. Is this the one you're talking about? This one is number 16. It's number 16. Okay, and they're $99. And that's crazy because I have sold these and do. My prices are the same. I don't always list them, but people that buy from me often know that, you know, if I got a 9x12 piece, it's generally going to be $129 plus shipping. Or if it's like a really, really involved one that's been very, very time consuming, it's going to go as high as $159. Most of my 11x14s are $159. You know, my 18x24s are now going for like $275, $300. They, you know, if I was in a gallery, that thing is matted and framed. You know, it's a $600, $700, $800 piece. I know this because I've been in galleries. So you'd love one. Okay, just need a little warmth from my personality. Okay, so Spice Jam, are you serious about that one? Because I think the best one for me to add more warmth to would be this one. All right, so you'd love one, just need a little bit more warmth for me personally. Yeah, everybody's got such a personal thing. All right, I don't know. Why don't I surprise you guys? Oh, it's very hard to work by committee. All right, so what one do I want to work on? I'm gonna leave this one aside, okay, if you want it, but if not, you know, you can, it's number 16, DM me and, you know, claim it. But if it's not claimed, then I'm probably gonna mess with it, all right? Okay, so, all right. I'm gonna try to add some warmth to this one, but I'm not sure if this is the one. Should I make you quiet? Okay. I'm not sure if this is the one that warmth will add to without making it very muddy. but I can probably do it with crayons or oil pastels, all right, without picking it up. So, I'll see, all right? Got nothing to use. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the commenting. I think this is the questions from viewers show up here. No. Okay, not that. The 3, turn off commenting. Okay, there you go. All right, thank you. Guys, it's hard for me to pay attention because I am an extremely attentive teacher. I have to tell you that. I do not come into my classes and I will start a demo and then get you going, but rarely did I ever finish a piece of art in class, okay? Because it was all about students working and that I could be available. So that's just the way I am, all right? I am, like a tool for you to use, but I try to direct a start. So anyway, all right, let me turn this down and see what we can do here. All right. See that? I'm gonna come down here and let's see if I can get in camera. I think that's in camera, but I probably need to tape it. So I don't tape it, then I move it. I move it around. I might move it anyway, but okay. So if I'm going to add some warmth to this, I got to look at some of these things here. I don't like that really. I think pink can be a warm color. That might be a good color for here, as well as something like this. All right, now I don't know if I'm going to use the markers. See, a more muted form of this would be okay. Maybe I'll try, just to get a feel for it, something like this. Okay, can you see it? I think you can see it. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to lighten some of this up in here, because I think that got, I don't mind that, but it really depends. I'm sure my hand is over this, but that's the best I can do with that. So these are Stabilo Woodies, and I'm going in there and I'm letting that beautiful brown show through, and I'm going to try to blend this a bit, and maybe break into it from the side as well, and maybe let these go up. And if I'm going to do that, maybe I'll let some of these come down. See, for me, I have no problem with it floating in space, but that bothers some people. It's a thing that I do, so, and I'm good with it. Now, you know what? I don't really like to mix that with water, but I can try with a watercolor pen to blend it in there. It's really heck on the pen, but the woodies can become, wet medium or watercolor if you blend them. But I find that unlike Crayon d'Arche holds its integrity much more. I like woodies, but they, if I put too much water on them, they can rub right off. So maybe what I'll do is grab a pencil too, because I want it to blend. So I have to introduce kind of warmths that are in this wheelhouse. You know, I could do a pop of red somewhere, and I might, but I have to see once I get this in here if this is helping. See, this will give me a more of a neutral, and I can work around these shapes. And that will help a lot. So, if I help a lot, it just becomes, this is going to become something totally different, you know. And rather than put white up here, I might continue with that, or I'll go over it in white. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I would like to do at that point is to bring some color outside in the edges, and then maybe wet those. And let me see if I can find my little brush. I don't have too much of a little brush, but something like this, where it kind of becomes, you know, a soft watercolor glaze. This is a glaze. Okay, and then what happens is I have some, you know, integrity across the whole piece, because it's never about one spot. Unity is really, really important in a piece. Now maybe down here, maybe can take something really hot like this. I don't know. Until I put it next to it. Because see, color is affected by what's next to it. So I like to mix mediums, as you know. And this is a more opaque medium. And at this point, perhaps I could blend with something like this. All right. I could blend this. I'm gonna have to turn it. I hope that's still in there. Okay. I think that if I can warm that up, make it a little less green, and maybe blend it into this, might be pretty. And then it kind of picks up that. So we'll see. We'll see. You're going to see that it's no small wrestling match. And there's always a chance that it can get worse before it gets better. But I'm willing to demonstrate that. Certainly have edges to play with here, but I'd want to do it subtly. Well, let's see how that looks next to purple. It's all right. It's not my first pick. But as I work through the piece, I might be able to do a brave thing. And I'm doing this upside down, so I'm gonna turn it around again. I hope that's still in camera. All right. maybe what I can do, I think what I can do is probably enhance this with the woody and make it a nicer peachy pink color that is in this wheelhouse. I mean, it's never just whatever. I mean, you can do whatever when you start, or, you know, you can be taught to just do whatever, and that not being able to do whatever is limiting. But I think if you know some principles, then you can do whatever, and then you can make whatever work. Because whatever isn't always good. Sometimes it's like whatever. And not everybody will agree with me, but that's okay, because we're artists, so we don't agree on everything. We have opinions, and you think. And, you know, my job is to showcase, when I'm teaching you, to help you, to showcase you, not me. I can share what I know, and then you can take it and use it the way you like and apply it the way you like to your work. So I think what this is doing is it's giving me like a different kind of a shape here that I can go in and out of. And I'm actually putting in more cool than you would think, but I think that the cool enhances the warm. And so it's not always just putting warm in. Sometimes you have to bump your warm up back up with your cools. So, and I can use a warm turquoise in here. And I would go heavy on this. The thing about the watercolor paper is you'll get much more texture showing through, which I like, but some of you might prefer the water mixed media paper so that it's smooth and it blends. But I think this is real pretty, especially next to that brown. See, it's really odd, but when you put a color like this next to a brown, a neutral color, it's really beautiful. You know, it's now a beautiful thing. So maybe what I just learned there, I'll apply here, and I had some nuggets and beans, and I kind of feel like these are seeds that I add. This thing up here now isn't doing what I would love it to do, because now it looks like it's a mistake, and that really was never the plan. Let me see something. Might just take a little, I don't know if this is dry. These are Pitt pens, Faber-Castell Pitt pens, and they are India ink, but they're not totally opaque. So a lot of times they really are nice for blending in some of the other things. So maybe this needs to be veiled a little bit, and maybe like the difference between here needs to be veiled a little bit, you know. Sometimes that softening helps. Sometimes it makes a hot mess, but it is an option. And also, if I want to lose and find edges up at the top and sort of change the geography of this piece, then I might, you know, introduce an transparent kind of a white here. And I'm thinking that I actually like that white coming through this piece a little bit more. See how it picks up the other colors and blends them really nicely. You can put it in water. That's how I clean these off. I put them back in water. So I think this thing is just needs to be chopped up a little bit. I can pick up some of that color now it's on here. See that? So if I go back in here, I get some of that, lavender. I can move it up here. And you see, I don't worry about staying inside the lines and stuff because this is a very organic piece. If I was doing a piece that I wanted my marks to be deliberately neat and clean, then I worry about that. But in a piece like this that has crayon and scribbling and things like that on it, just how much of this am I gonna... Who was that? Was that Lisa that made me go into this piece? That's okay. It's going to change a lot more than I thought. So now it's got to do a softer blend into this and off the edge. But I believe that this was watercolor because you see the way this marker is moving that. All right, so I believe that that is watercolor. So I'm going to take a more opaque marker so it'll give the feeling that the air is showing through. So this is no longer a floater per se, but it'll softly go fade to the edges, which I think will be pretty in the long run. And I'll go back in here. But right now what I'm doing is I'm erasing with the white. I call this subtracting because I'm trying to look at the overall shape. So if I do that, then I want to change the shape down here because it doesn't behave the same way when I look at the whole. So I'm going to blend this too. Okay, that's pretty. But you can see, like, once I'm committed, it's going to change a whole lot. Because when I stop working on them, as far as I'm concerned, they're finished. But I'm kind of going back in here and saying, well, okay, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and I can go back in, and I'm not necessarily doing a full-on paint over, but I'm calling this today, giving these some new TLC, because I think that they're good pieces and they deserve a second try. And this is clunky and cumbersome. But you see how it's starting to blend a little bit more and soften. So I'm going to keep working that. And what I'm going to do with that, the way I'm going to blend that out and shake that out is to try to use my grease pencil, okay, which these Generals are not my favorite. They, Sharpies are much, much better. I wish I had a Crayon d'Arche. I'm going to use what I have here. And I'm going to turn it back around because I need to see it this way. I don't know if I'm in camera, but now's when I'm not messing around anymore. So I have to kind of pretend that I'm by myself, and me and this painting are going to talk. We're going to do some talking and some jabbering and some jamming. And I am going to scribble into this because I'm going to now commit to making this a different kind of a shape, but I want it to be soft and blend into the top. Rather than have the dark next to the light, I'm making it softer, and that's going away more and more. So I'm using white on white, which is always nice. I like that. I like that, especially when you're trying to soften edges and things. You can paint around the edges. You know, Mandy was just on, and that's what she does. She does a really lot of excellent mark making, and then she starts to do, she starts to find an overall shape, and she brings cohesion to her piece because she balances out this wild, loud, noisy center that's got a lot of things going on with, it can be equally noisy, but it's a single color, and so that becomes her quiet space. And they work really, really well together. It's a brilliant style that she has developed, and I appreciate it a lot. So I think maybe that, you know, that kind of got really muddy up there. I'm going to continue to maybe soften that and maybe do a more deliberate purple throughout this. So it's not getting tremendously warm. However, these cools are making this other stuff bump up, and I could bump that up to be a little bit warmer as well. So I'm going to kind of get in here with these. All right. And so I can have a variety of purples up here. Variety. And maybe connect them to something else so that they lead the eye through the piece. since I have a lot of small shapes, I think I'd like to introduce some bigger ones. And since I have a lot of diagonal, I might want to put in some horizontals. And yeah, I think this is starting to come together nicely. But it's not particularly warm. And how much? We have 3 more minutes, I think. Well, actually, I think I came on when we had more time. All right. I'm going to get a little gesso. Oh, I don't know if this will work. It might be jammed up. My spray paint. Spray paint could work right now. Let's see. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh, of course not. That's the thing about spray paint. I love it, but it's so finicky. All right. I'm done with you. Okay. So, but what I'm seeing is I'm thinking that I probably can get some really tiny pops of orange in here. That'll add some of that warm color. This is a Montana acrylic marker. They sell them at Michael's. Yeah, that's sort of an outlier, but I better make sure it looks like I'm doing it on purpose. Ooh. Because it's going to get all the attention since it's different. See? Looks nice in between that. Doesn't have to be a big move, but it needed a move. Okay. I don't want to do the obvious, so I might go into these. Well, I might. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Not really a fan of this and this next to each other. I think that's a little bit better. Well, I don't know what that was, but can't be too important now. I know I'm gonna have to wrap up, so I'm probably doing some really quickie stuff right now. So I can also put blue on top of that purple and integrate it a little bit more. Otherwise it just looks like bad color. I mean, not bad color. They just, they don't work. It's like an outfit that either works or it doesn't work. Okay. And you can do this with paint too, all right? Because I have a little time, only an hour on here, I'm choosing to do it this way. But yeah, I think I need to just maybe use my black. Oh, please tell me this is a Sharpie. There we are. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to put commenting back on because I want to see if you're still there. Are you still there? Okay. All right. Are you guys still there? So, let me fix this. There we go. There you are. Okay, you're still there. All right. So you know what? I'm going to hold this up, and I'm just going to put a couple of lines in here that I really think that this needs now some graphite lines to sort of ground it on the page, and I will definitely take some gesso, and I will make my page very, very white off of the edge, and you won't be able to even tell that in these areas that have become another color in the meantime. But this is what we're at now, okay? And I'm going to make this, very, very white in here with gesso. We'll just take it right back to the paper. And wow, it kind of ended up to be sort of a heart shape. But that's very different. And, I can still go on this. I think I'm going to go in with a white marker and put some, detailed circles and things like that. And then I'll post it, okay? And you'll see the finished piece. All right? So, did that help any of you guys? Let me know. And, there's always more to do. And, I could completely obliterate that thing. My holder is kind of getting, I don't know what it's doing. I'm going to have to hold it. But thank you so much for being here. And for those of you who wanted to claim those other pieces, please go do that. And hi, CJ. How you doing? Please go do that if you like. And again, the purpose was to thank you and to hopefully, for those of you who are disappointed, give you some more options. And at the same time, for you painters who are just getting started or who want to enhance your work without completely doing a paint over, this is how you do it. And so that piece has now become brighter and more contrasty. And I like the shape better at the top, and I'm going to work it out on the bottom as well. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for joining me, okay? And thank you so much for the wonderful response over the weekend. I'm really choked up about it. It was very special.